Hey there everybody, this is Pastor Charlie bringing you a midweek reflection. This is Wednesday the 20th of September. I want to think back to Pastor Rachel's sermon on Sunday morning. By the way, didn't she do an amazing job of her first sermon among us? I was so encouraged as I sat and listened to her. She preached a sermon on forgiveness, if you'll remember, and really challenged us to the heart work and the hard heart work of forgiveness. She raised a couple of questions for us, one of which was this: in what areas of our life might we find freedom through forgiveness? Gosh, there's so many whenever I think about that, right? When I think about people that have upset me or hurt me in years gone by, you know, those little niggly stories that you think you moved on from, but when you call them to mind, actually you haven't. And there's a little bit of forgiveness that you probably need to find so that that story doesn't niggle anymore. Now, I'm a human being. I have to tell you, I have dozens of those stories. There are dozens of spaces in my life where doing the hard heart work of forgiveness would indeed invite me to live in a newfound freedom in Christ. Rachel's other question was the hard one. What is the first step that we could take to make that journey? You know, I've thought a lot about this. I've thought a lot about it over the course of this year, actually, since Bishop Tom Berlin became our new bishop in the Florida Conference. I was at his installation service and he preached an outstanding sermon about the love of God. He also preached about the love of God when he was here with us just a few weeks ago. But in that first sermon at his installation service, he challenged us, the United Methodists in the room, who have had a hard road of debate and division and difficulty in recent years. He said plainly to us, there are people in your lives that you need to lift the phone and have a conversation with so that you could iron out your differences. He was inviting us to seek some forgiveness with each other, those of us who have maybe not spoken for a while because of some of the difficulties and divisions that have been going on in our churches. As I thought about Rachel's second question, I thought back to that sermon, and I think that that challenge is the same. When I think of those niggling stories that bring up those spaces of unforgiveness in my life, the best first thing that I could do is maybe to reach out with a simple phone call to just say, hey, how's it going? And then to maybe talk about that situation and see if there's a space of peace and forgiveness that can be found between me and another person. Now, when I think of that, I understand why Rachel was describing forgiveness as the hard work of our faith. But then I also remember that she told us that forgiveness is an essential part of our Christian journey. It's something that we can't get away from. And so maybe this week I need to find the courage to lift the phone and make one of those calls. Maybe you do too. Maybe we will. I hope you have a great rest of week, and we look forward to seeing you this coming Sunday morning. Take care.